Man restores runic stone, Sweden 1936. Most of the stones date back to the 11th century. The inscription, Toll and Thorny, made these monuments in memory of Thor and Klaka, their sons. These are the 9th century shoes from the Oseberg Rook, a Viking oak drakkar found in southern Norway at the beginning of the 20th century. Paleontologist Henry Osborn with dinosaur limbs, 1899. This is the man who first described the complete skeleton of Tyrannosaurus rex and coined the name itself. Translated as Royal Tyrannosaurus Rex. During World War II, the State Department of Defense commissioned Walt Disney to design children's gas masks. It turned out to be very interesting. In World War I, such camouflages were used at the front so that it was impossible to tell in which direction a ship was heading. The Inquisition forced Galileo to retract his statement that the Earth revolves around the sun, and not vice versa. But the scientist did not change his beliefs. But he didn't utter the famous phrase, "It's still going round." He didn't utter it. This myth was made up 100 years later by an Italian journalist, Richard Harris, who played Albus Dumbledore in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, turned down the role 3 times because he was already seriously ill. His 11-year-old granddaughter found out about the offer and said she would never speak to her grandfather again if he turned down the role. Only then did Harris give his consent to be filmed. The year 1816 saw unusually cold weather in Europe and North America, and it went down in history as a year without summer. The reason was the eruption a year earlier of the Tambora volcano on the Indonesian island of Sumbawa, on the other side of the globe. That same summer, the writer Mary Shelley was vacationing with friends at the villa. Because of the bad weather, they often stayed home and had a contest to write spooky stories. Thus Shelley's famous novel Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus, was born. Cain with hidden dagger and revolver. Third French Republic, 1893. Korean Yang Yonghyun is known for being a soldier in 3 armies. During World War II, he was drafted into the Imperial Japanese Armed Forces. He was taken prisoner by the Red Army. In 1942, along with thousands of other prisoners, he was sent to the front to make amends with blood. He fought for the Soviet Union. In the summer of 1943, he was taken prisoner by the Germans near Kharkov. In captivity, after proving that he had fought for Japan, was released and continued to serve. Fought for Germany in Normandy, was taken prisoner by the Americans. Bronze token of a Roman slave with the inscription, "Detain me if I have escaped and return me to my master, Vivantius of the Manor of Callistus." 4th century. The Americans landed on the moon in 1969, at the height of the Cold War. In doing so, one of Armstrong's tasks was to leave 2 medals on the moon in honor of the Soviet cosmonauts who died. Yuri Gagarin died in 1968 during a flight on the plane, and Vladimir Komarov died in 1967 when the Soyuz 1 parachute system malfunctioned. The astronauts believed that the landing of a man on the moon was our shared success. A 1st century Roman cavalry helmet found in Xanten, Germany. Part of the iron base is covered in silver. Bonn Museum, Germany. Tristan Otto from the Berlin Museum of Natural History, which is 66 million years old. The original skeleton of the Tyrannosaurus rex is about 12 mm long and is one of the most complete in the world. The skeleton was discovered in 2010 in the U.S. state of Montana and is considered a unique find around the world. The skull alone weighs as much as 80 kg and consists of 47 bone fragments. The skeleton is assembled from 300 parts, of which 170 are original. The animal was about 4 meters tall. Alexander the Great's favorite horse, Bucephalus, was bought by his father Philip for 13 talents, about 340 kilograms of silver. At the spot where his horse died in battle, Alexander founded the city of Bucephalus, the only city in the world named after a horse. Imperial crown of the Holy Roman Empire, crown of Charlemagne, second half of the 10th century. When there was no mausoleum, it was replaced by a real mound for VIPs. From this mound, the Politburo watched what was going on in the square. This is 1923, a scouting parade in front of the mound. How the word Gopnik appeared. At the end of the 19th century, the premises of the modern Oktyabrskaya Hotel on Ligovsky Prospect housed the State Vigilance Society, GOP, to which street children and teenagers engaged in petty robbery and hooliganism were taken. After the October Revolution of 1917, the building housed the State Dormitory of the Proletariat, GOP, for the same purpose. Werner Goldberg was a half-Jewish Wehrmacht soldier who served as a poster model for Nazi propaganda as the ideal German soldier. A fully movable gold skeleton in a silver sarcophagus by the Odessa jeweler Ruchomovsky, 1892-1906. It sold for $350,000 at a Sotheby's auction.